Hello, everyone out there. Welcome to the very first Frank's Pour podcast. Now, the other podcasts will have more lifestyle, talking to people, interviewing, but this is something we're going to do. It's the Frank's Pour podcast tasting edition. And I always have, as my business partner and my best friend and confidant and everyone else, Leo de Guzman. Leo.
Hey, everyone. Happy New Year.
Yeah, so welcome to the very first Frank's Pour podcast. This will be officially out. And yeah, we switched it away from our previously known podcast because we just needed to start anew.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. Looking forward to a lot of the new content that will be coming on. It's going to be more diverse. And again, it's just going to touch on so many more topics. We're going to have great tastings. I really look forward to this. So
yeah, it's exciting, you know. Now, I want to just say this. These bottles were not donated. They weren't given to us. Leonard went out of his way, bought this lineup so we could actually do a tasting. Like, taste it together, but not necessarily record it. But we decided, why not record it for the new year?
Yeah, no, it's an excellent start. We've been trying to get a hold of some of these bottles for a while now. And I think this is a great way to start the new year.
Oh, yeah. So, obviously, we're tasting Dewars, which is owned by Bacardi. It's about 4 distilleries, correct?
That's correct.
And Dewars is their blended of the 4, right?
Yes. So it is their Dewars is probably the most famous and well-known in the sense that everyone's kind of seen Dewars wherever you are in the world. It was started by John Dewar and his 2 sons. John started it in 1846, and his sons actually took over not long after. It might have been about 10 years. Dewars has always been a favorite of Frank and myself. We really love their flavor profile. It's honeyed, it's sweet.
It's very Highlands.
It's very Highlands, and it actually lends perfectly, in my opinion, to something like extra finishing,
right?
Because it just has such a great base.
Yeah, and they've done a great lineup here. What we're going to be doing today is tasting the 12 as a baseline. So we're not going to actually do a tasting of the 12. We'll taste it as our baseline, but then we're going to taste these other 5, these cask finishes, right? And now, for those that don't know, for the longest time, you were only allowed to finish a whiskey, a Scotch, in certified, or not certified, but like the Scotch Whisky Association said, these are the only types of barrels you could use. It'd be ex-bourbon, right?
Yep.
Ex-rum.
Ex-rum.
Ex-sherry.
Yep.
Ex-port. Ex-Japanese whiskey. So
yep.
Mizunara.
Mizunara.
And I might be missing one other one, but
usually it's
wine finishes.
Yeah, some of the wine finishes they allowed. I know that if you had like Bordeaux or some red wines,
right.
Sauternes was coming up a little bit.
Well, yeah, sherry, port, they're type of fortified wine.
But basically, the SW really wanted to just stick to wine and fortified wine,
right.
Ports and sherries more than anything else. And this kind of opened it up. They really opened it up. Again, and this is a very experimental series.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, in case you're wondering, Dewars does not have a base 8, which is why we're also using the 12. There's no 8 with no finishing.
Yeah, there's no age statement 8, right? The most you could get is the one that's going to be lower than the 12 will be just their white. Which is
for white label.
They're not going to say what age, but you could always assume it's 6 to 7 years, right? Generally, but whatever. So the one, because the SWA opened up about 2.5, 3 years ago to other casks, the one that's different that wouldn't have been here 3 years ago is the ex-tequila, right? The Illegal Smooth.
Mezcal.
Mezcal. So there should be wisps of smoke. However, we'll get into it, but Dewars is known to have wisps of smoke anyways, correct?
That's correct.
So let's see how much it changes, especially comparing it to the 12. So first, let's start off. I think we decided with the French oak first, right?
Yes. So the order you're seeing right now from here, from my right to my left, is actually how it's presented in the series. So this is series number 1, series number 2, 3, 4, and 5. But Frank and I we decided that let's try mixing it up a bit. Start with what we believe, what we think should be the most subtle, and work our way up to the one that should be in intensity.
Right. So the first one, obviously they all have different names. Like the ex-mezcal is Ilegal Smooth.
Right.
Right. So what's the name of the French?
This is actually just the French cask smooth.
French cask smooth. Which, anyone that know, I hate the term smooth when describing whiskey, but Dewars is famously known to use the word smooth in everything. So, you know what? Let's just lean into the smooth.
Yeah, so this I think already has like 4 or 5 words of smooth just in the...
This is interesting. So I didn't know this. Apple brandy cask finish. So it's
Calvados.
It's Calvados in Limousin oak?
I'm not sure if it's in Limousin oak, but definitely French oak, definitely Calvados, which is French apple brandy.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
So they do provide a basic taste profile, and they say it should be apple, cinnamon, and citrus.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see.
We're not we all know marketing people come up and put stuff on bottles that aren't necessarily what the experts believe in, the experts at the brand.
Oh, yeah.
So marketing doesn't talk. We've heard this before. We're not going to get into it, even though we know lots of things from the industry because we've been in it for a while now.
Oh, yeah. And just so the audience knows, with the French cask, this is going to be our first time trying it. We have not tried this before.
So, yeah, we've pretty much tried. I think I tried the Japanese whiskey a while ago, but
I have not.
Yeah. So, but So let's just get it. Let's get into it. We keep on talking. Blah 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 blah. Let's start.
No, let's definitely.
So we start off with this one right here.
Yep. Left to right.
Left to right. All right. So let's have a good whiff there. Slange.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh. Has an interesting doughy, which I know you enjoy.
Yeah, this is a great doughy. A little bit of citrus in there. It's actually quite familiar because we've been trying a Calvados cask Irish whiskey for a while, which is a Glendalough.
Glendalough, which we know. I know you enjoy the Glendalough.
Very much so.
Ex-calvados. I'm okay with it. I'm not jumping for joy, but I do like it. Right? Yeah. It's interesting. So I totally forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. So let's see.
No, it matches our personalities, dude. You're always more intense and punchy, so you like the more intense and punchy whiskeys.
This is true. This is true. This is so true. But yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, you'd get some light vanilla, some honey. I get orange citrus, not lemon, but orange.
So this is a pour of the Dewar 12, just for comparison.
No, the nose is definitely different. It's different.
It really, I wouldn't even say a different dimension. It's just an extra dimension. It really changed it.
It did. All right, let's taste this. It's lighter than the 12.
Much more so.
Much lighter. It does sting the tongue a little bit. There's a bit of pepper in the beginning of the tongue. Mm-hmm. But let me get into it to get more on some notes. But I like that it changed up. You know, it's different than some of the other ones. So this is interesting.
Yeah, I'd say compared to a lot of what we'll be tasting going forward, this is actually different. It's not, like I said, an additional dimension. This really changed around the character of Dewars quite a bit.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to lie. Well, I don't really lie, but, I'll say this. I could go back into that. You know, I mean, yeah, it is a bit hot, a bit peppery, but not like hot in a bad way, like some whiskeys. But it's interesting. I could definitely be drinking half a bottle of it when I'm on a hard night, on a fun night. But no, I mean, I can definitely.
No, we could drink half a bottle of this just without noticing.
Yeah, that's the same.
This will go down. This goes down really easy.
But I'll tell you, not a lot of body. That's why it's easy.
Yeah, I especially towards the end. I like the character much more in the beginning than I did towards. That's why I was a little quiet, because I was noticing how quickly it kind of just drops off.
And I'll tell you that it does stay hot. You know, the pepper does stay around on the tongue a bit compared. Mm-hmm. But still, I could easily drink a bottle and I'd enjoy it. It's like, this is something I wouldn't necessarily kick out of bed.
No,
Right.
I definitely will. I wouldn't object to it. Tasting the 12 side by side, I do have to admit it lost body. So that's something important to point out. If you're having Dewar's 12, that structure and body really stays on way longer for me than the French. Even though I like the flavors of the French, I really like that doughiness, and I really like the
which reminds you of like Redbreast, right? Which
Yeah.
you really enjoy.
Oh yeah, I love it. The Redbreast 12 is hands down one of my top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, but you know what? It's good. And listen, I know you like a lot of body. I know you love a lot of body.
But again, there's nothing offensive in there. I wouldn't say that it's lacking in structure, or there's any offensive notes in there, like something tastes off. The flavors in there blend really well. It's just that for me, the flavor really drops off.
It does.
It's like it's a really short finish.
I was gonna say it's a short finish, not medium. I mean, it's under 5 seconds the finish, so to me that's a short finish. So yeah, it's definitely. But like I said, I would not mix this with ice. I'm afraid if I do put an ice cube in there, it's gonna fade too much.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But this is nice. I mean, honestly, put this in the fridge, cool it down a bit. I think it would be good, right? Like
It probably
Scottish temperature.
add a little structure to it too. Actually,
Yeah, a
a little more richness.
bone structure. Okay, let's move on to our second bottle. Second bottle is the Japanese Smooth.
Here you go, sir.
Japanese oak cask. So, okay, we could safely say this is mizunara. Okay, finished.
Yep.
We aged blend, whatever. Floral, honey, cinnamon, and sandalwood. Sandalwood, huh? Isn't sandalwood used to help cover up marijuana smell? Like, this is what the hippies did in the 70s and 80s. And
Yeah, I remember sandalwood and hippies definitely come together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know it was to cover up marijuana
Yeah.
smell. I just thought it was part of their thing about nature.
No, I listen. It could have been it could be another type of incense, but I remember there's one where you light it, and they light it because people were smoking. You know, this is when weed was illegal in the United States. So I remember a lot of friends would have the incense, and it might be sandalwood, might be something else, or whatever it is, and that's you're hiding your marijuana smell now. In California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Nevada, I could go on. They're laying it loose, you know. I if we were in the U.S., I swear to God, Leonard, we'd be doing whiskey and marijuana tastings.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You smoke a little of this, drink a little of that, boom.
Forget tastings. We'd be doing pairings.
Yeah. This has a citrus note with a bit of urea.
You know, just like a gourmet meal: starter, main course, finish.
I am so glad we're free this 2023 because we could talk like this and no one could come down on us.
Exactly.
We're our own men again, buddy. Love it. We're our own men again.
So technically, as you said, floral, honey, and sandalwood.
Yeah.
So considering this is like 2/3 hippie, because you know hippies love floral as well.
We're leaning into the hippies, huh?
Hippie cask.
Oh my God. We are old enough to remember hippies. Well, especially me being from the Bay.
Yeah.
Right? Living in the Bay
I'm sure.
in the 80s and seeing dirty hippies walk the streets of San Francisco.
So
Dirty damn hippies. Okay, let's just get...
No, we remember Woodstock, people.
Yeah, 90s. I'm not that old.
No, but I remember watching parts of Woodstock on video and stuff. Like
Oh,
people
yeah,
talk,
of course.
We talked about we still could when we were young have people would be like, I was there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man, you see those videos of Woodstock 1969, you could pretty much smell the BO. Sorry, I'm those that are old enough that went to
But
Woodstock,
talked about it. Yeah,
I'm sure you smelled back then. Dirty, stinky hippies.
yeah. You know, vans were different back then.
Yeah, sorry, that's not the essence I want to be around.
To be fair, this whiskey has no BO and does not smell like hippies.
No,
you know.
this does not smell like hippies at all.
Actually, I'm quite surprised.
You know what?
The floral is more than I thought it would be. compared to other mizunaras.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a sharp floral.
but there's it has that. If anyone's ever tasted like ex-mezunara, whether it be from Pernod Ricard,
Yeah.
or any other brand, you could actually smell the essence of the mizunara.
So the two mizunara casks that we're very familiar with would be, of course, Pernod Ricard's Chivas Mizunara.
Yeah.
And the second would be Matsui.
Matsui.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matsui-san. Shout out to Matsui-san. I know it's been a while. Hopefully we'll see you in the Philippines. But yeah.
Yeah, their Mizunara cask.
Exactly.
And this has a lot of similarities. I mean,
it's the lightness, right? But compared to the ex-calvados, there's a bit of body on there.
well,
Like it coats. It coats the tongue.
what surprises me, if we do it back-to-back right now, if you have a little bit of that Calvados left,
Oh yeah, I do.
take a little sip, notice the difference in pepper.
Yeah.
Like, the heat is just
This is more subdued.
very... I mean, in terms of heat, there's, like, no pepper on this. But
Well-
it still has flavor.
No, I would say the pepper comes on later. Like it doesn't start in the beginning, but after you swallow it, like it builds a bit. But not in a bad way. But I mean, like it's white pepper versus black pepper.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's
I mean,
not like sharp pepper. It's there.
Right? Now it could also be because it's 40%. But I mean, yeah, this is
Considering these are both... I'm just saying, considering these are both Dewars, so the difference is in the finishing.
yeah. So
Technically.
yeah, and I'll tell you, there are significant differences.
Yep.
Between, and I'm gonna say this right now, every whiskey's gonna be different, and it's gonna be kind of hard to find like the essence of Dewars.
Yeah.
Like some whiskeys are like, all right, you could tell, you could tell what the base is, but I'd say Dewars has done a good job in doing their cask finishes so far.
They definitely got some good casks in here. They contrast really well with a 12, so you can tell that it's evolved or changed and compared to what the base is. But I love just how different they are from each other as well. Yeah, this reminds me... Actually, when I tasted... The minute I tasted this, it reminds me of a Mizunara cask.
It does.
It reminds me of the Matsui Mizunara. More of it,
Yeah. And listen, I enjoy my Matsui. For a Japanese whiskey, I really enjoy it.
Mizunara was the one we always finish first.
Yeah.
Usually of that selection.
Yeah.
So...
not the biggest fan of the peated, but it was there for a reason. It's okay. But yeah, anyways, we're not talking about Matsui.
Those, yep.
We could always do that another time. But let's move forward.
All right.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay. Notes. We didn't talk notes.
Like I said, it had a nice floral on my nose. I don't know if it's sandalwood because unfortunately I don't have enough hippie friends to be breathing sandalwood smoke or to claim familiarity.
It's been a few decades since I've been since I lived in the Bay. So, and the Bay is full of tech bros. The hippies are gone. Good or bad, I don't know. I'm not sure if you're a fan of tech bros. I'm not sure if anyone is a fan of any kind of bro, broing down.
Yeah.
Unless you do it. But yeah, no one likes a douchebag.
Not as much.
A bro douche.
No. Those guys, you could tell we're in San Francisco, but they're kind of wearing Patagonia because it's Patagonia, but that's a little too insulated for them. So
because they're not the finance bro, but they're tech bros, so they're cool because they're in tech, bro.
Dude, I don't own a vest except for a denim one. That's more
That's more Canadian.
Yeah, that's more Canadian, bro.
Yeah. A Canadian bro.
Yeah, or Canadian tuxedo or something.
Yeah. A Canadian bro would just be too friendly.
Eh?
You know what? I don't know who's going to be watching this, but they're just going to be laughing their butts off of us being ridiculous. All right. So what's going on next, Leonard?
Next, just finishing off with this, like I said, it has some floral.
Yes.
I would say the problem I have with it, or not problem, but one of the things they claim it's honey. I don't know if that's from the Mizunara. And I don't know if it's from a Mizunara or from a Dewars, because Dewars has a lot of honey. A good amount of honey in it.
You know what? It's going to be the remnants from the base. I really think. But it's not a lot.
It's not.
No, this is you know what? And I would say this about Japanese Mizunara casks. they're very delicate,
Very,
right? And
very.
While there's a lot more body compared to the ex-calvados, I would say this is still a delicate whiskey.
Yeah. And, kudos again to Dewars for branching out into
Yeah.
mizunara. It's a crappy cast. Not crappy cast, but it's a hard cast to work with.
Yeah, no, because it's porous.
Yeah, it leaks.
It takes over 100 years for the tree to mature enough to cut down. Yeah, it's not necessarily the best to use for barrels.
Yeah, honestly, it isn't.
But because it's how rare it is, that's why they do it.
Yep.
Right. So no, it's good. Like I said, it's this I could see with an ice cube.
Yeah, I think it'll go well with an ice cube. This is a conversational whiskey. I'd love to bring that around to a party or something. That's a drinking party.
Yeah, your next set, because these are all mine now, motherfucker. Oh, I mean, mother. Yay. Hey,
Yay.
hey, Leonard. Hey, we'll
Rochambeau later.
No, anyways, no.
Next.
The illegal smooth essay.
Illegal smooth.
Illegal.
Illegal. There's no two for people who.
Wait. Why are we saying in a Filipino accent?
No,
it should
it'd be a Mexican.
A Mexican. Listen, I'm not racist, so.
But I will say, because I've seen this a lot on the internet, people, when you're searching for this, it's one L.
Yeah, not illegal.
It's not illegal. It's
not illegal in the English spelling.
Sense, of not being legal.
But it's illegal in Spanish Mexico, because that's the name of the mezcal, right?
Illegal mezcal. Yeah.
Illegal mezcal.
So, this one is supposed to have caramel, a wisp of smoke, and sliced green pepper.
Sliced green pepper.
I'm going to see how this is different from whole green pepper flavors, but we'll soon find out.
Okay. Bell pepper.
Yeah, I guess they mean since it's sliced, it doesn't have seeds.
No, not the Filipino green chilies.
No, not Siling. Dude, no. I'd love to have Siling Labuyo flavor in my whiskey.
So if you taste what's the you taste Bicol Express.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, no, that
oh god, I missed this, dude.
Oh man, if Bicol Express is so again, this is mezcal, not tequila. For those of you who are unaware of a difference, Frank, you want to expound a little?
So tequila only uses one type of piña. Agave piña, and that's the Blue Weber.
Yep.
Right? And it's only from a certain region.
Yes.
That's it. Where mezcal, I mean, technically could be anywhere, but Oaxaca, I think, is one of the main areas. And it usually they use multiple kinds of agave.
Yep.
And they smoke the piña.
Yes.
So they call it the piña because it literally looks like a pineapple. Right? When you take off so agave is technically a type of cactus.
Yeah.
And you look at it, it looks like aloe vera. It really does.
Yeah.
But when you chop it off, right, and all that, you get this big old thing that they call it, looks like a pine cone, a pineapple. That's right, it's a piña. But then they take it, they put it in like a big pit, and they smoke all the piña for like 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
They does two things, right? It dries it out, and by heating it up, you're going to start concentrating the flavor, the sugars.
Right.
Because it's the sugars that you put yeast in to churn out the alcohol.
Right. If you don't have sugar, you can't make alcohol. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's all about the sugars when it comes to how to convert it into something tasty and alcoholic.
Now, usually you have to warm up, whether it's the wort, which is like the pre-wine, beer, whatever. You have to warm it up somehow. With mezcal, they're going to use smoke.
Yep.
With just like making smoky scotch, where you smoke to dry out the barley, they're using smoke to dry out the agave, the piña.
Yeah.
The agave piña. And then they turn it into a sugary wort kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
then you have the liquid to make it into a sugary liquid with everything kind of mashed up in it.
Exactly.
And you have the yeast to make
we'll do that another time.
But let's taste this and see how this goes.
Move forward.
So For those of you who, how should mezcal taste? Mezcal is usually smoky.
Think tequila, add smoke, but a different kind of smoke, and go from there. I think let's keep it simple.
That's a great way to say it. So
yeah, tequila with smoke, but not like barbecue smoke. Yeah. It's been a while since I had this. I forgot how light the body is on this one. I say the body is similar to the ex-calvados, but not as hot.
Yeah, I think that compared to the calvados, it's not as hot. I like the weight of this body better than the calvados. I think it's a little heavier. It's light. It's light on flavor.
Yeah,
but I think it has a little more texture to it. Like it just feels like it has a little more substance.
I don't get a lot of smoke on the nose.
No. I do get a bit of a tequila sweetness, and I get a bit of it more on the body as well. So definitely, if someone told me this was a tequila cask, I'll believe them more than if someone's that's a mezcal cask. I'd be like, no.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, I would honestly say that I could have one or two glasses, but then I'd move on. Right? I mean, what kind of flavor profile? There's not a lot there. I mean, there's the pepper. There's wisps of the mezcal, but it's not a lot. It's not a terrible whiskey by any means. Not at all. I mean, I wouldn't put ice with this.
No.
But it's not a lot to tell me. Maybe we have to water it down to 25%, but there's not a lot of flavor going on.
Here's the thing I have with this one, and I'll invite you to taste it side by side with the Dewars 12. This is probably the only whiskey of a collection so far, and I'll venture to say because we've had the Portuguese of the 8-year-old collection, where I feel that it's just something got taken away. Because when I taste the 12 and then I taste this, I just feel like the 12 just has so much more to it. And we didn't mention this yet, but one of the other reasons it's great to compare these to the 12, they're like within 150 pesos in price of each other.
Yeah.
Don't think that because the 12 is 4 years older that it's significantly more expensive. It's not. So you could justify either bottle.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this. Get it to try it. Experience it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not...
It's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing... If this was a blind tasting, I'd drink this down.
I mean, listen, this is around a $20 bottle of whiskey, right? Mm-hmm. In Scotch terms, that's not a lot. That's on the lower end of the spectrum of Scotch in Scotch. Now, I'd buy it to experience it. I would buy it to let people try it, right? Because whiskey, I mean, this is a trope that's been repeated and repeated and repeated, but whiskey is there to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
To be shared. It's an experience. Everything we should do in life, it should be about experiences. Buying this is an experience. Now, is it something I'm going to go out and buy every time I need a new bottle? No. But is it something I would want to keep around the house? For sure. I mean, it's an interesting looking bottle. It's a good topic starter. And you could, maybe flex your muscles a bit when you have people try this out.
Yeah. I think it's great to try out. It's great for discovery. I give Dewars a lot of credit for venturing out into that because it's real easy to say, hey, guys, why don't you go be experimental and try all this stuff out? But it's a lot harder to tell them. It's a lot harder for a whiskey producer to just be like, yeah, let's put our name on the line. Let's find some tequila casks.
Yeah.
How hard could that be? They must be selling them down the road. No. They have to commit, find some mezcal or tequila casks, bring them back to Dewars.
And you're looking 3 to 6 months of investment.
Yep.
And then you're like, all right, do you not do anything with it afterwards? No, you have to put it out.
Right.
So I give them all the credit in the world for putting it out. Now, listen, I would go for the 12 all day long. I think the 12 is a delicious drop compared to the illegal, but the illegal is not terrible either.
No, I wouldn't fault anyone for getting it. If
Yeah.
someone told me, what do you think? I'd say try it yourself. And I think that for some people, they might prefer it. There's a lot of people that, if you want a subtle whiskey, especially if you're not very much into whiskey or you want to bring a newbie in, that's a great way to start, to get their palate just introduced to.
Oh, this is nice and easy.
Yeah.
This is not. I mean, this is not for. If you're someone that says I want a complicated whiskey, this is not it.
No way.
But is this a whiskey that you can enjoy? For sure. All right. So, all right, we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking a little water here. And by the way, always have your water ready. And also, if anyone's watched it in the years past, we used to do these a lot more. Mm-hmm. After 3 whiskeys, this is a time where our tongues get a little bit looser. And
yes,
our tongue has been already loose already. And it has nothing to do with drinking, because this is literally the first drinks we've had. However, God, I miss this.
Yeah.
I miss this.
This is a great environment. I love VX. When we used to do this before, we were a little more slapdash. This, the extra professionalism with the microphones and the headphones.
Yeah.
Now I can actually hear myself talking. I'm like, ooh. Don't slur when you're drinking.
That's what happens when you have to spend money.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so.
Sorry, my line producer in the background is laughing. Because it's her first time seeing this, by the way.
Yep, exactly. Well, go battering back and forth. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Anyways,
so next one, it's the
Caribbean Smooth.
Yep. I call this the girlfriend special for personal reasons. Yeah. So this is obviously Caribbean.
By the way, I'm shaking my maracas.
Yeah, it's very Caribbean. Very maracas in the Caribbean. So this is a rum cask finish. Of course, we've most people, I'm hoping, has tried at least one rum cask whiskey. If you haven't, you're missing out.
Now, I will say this: who owns Dewars? Bacardi. And which rum do they own? Bacardi. So I think it's safe to assume we know exactly where these barrels come from.
Yeah, I like how they say that it has flavor notes of tropical fruits, brown sugar, and caramel.
Caramel, or is it caramel?
We're
not gonna answer that question today.
No.
It's an ongoing subject that we don't care about.
Yeah, no.
Anyways,
in the Philippines, though, call me Mel for short. But
call me Mel for short. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what the accent that is, but let's move forward. Because you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I want to get to the last one.
Yeah,
which I love.
No,
I love it.
That's the frame. He even dressed like the freaking bottle.
I did. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. What's Frank's favorite?
Yeah, the export. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unconsciously giving it away from the start.
That's right. Listen, that's what happens. I didn't even know. I just did it, and it worked. It worked. Sir. All right. So it's ex-rum.
Yep.
That's why it's Caribbean because Bacardi, I think Puerto Rico?
Oh, boy. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Oh.
I love
That's a sweet finish. That's a sweet nose.
I love the sweet nose.
Wow, it's been a while since I've had the Caribbean. The reason being that Frank and his girl and his lady always take my portion away from me.
No, it's not me, buddy. It's not me.
Okay.
There's only one person, and that person's not me.
All I know is those two disappear with a pretty full bottle, and it comes back empty. When I'm like, hey, is there any left? And you're like, yeah, here, you can have the cap. I'm like,
that's right. Listen, sometimes you just need a little dribbles in your mouth. Oh my God, that's dirty. I just realized what I said. I'm sorry for the people out there. Yeah. We're back, baby. We're back, baby.
Frank's caramel. No,
Frank's essence.
Oh yeah. This is actually a lot better than what I remember of it. So.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you. Going through the lineup, I wouldn't taste the brown sugar before. I get it now.
Yeah.
I get the ex-rum.
Yeah.
It took doing 3 other things and tasting, well, actually, technically 4, right? I get it now. I get the rum flavor. I didn't get it before. I get it now.
And the cool thing is,
But it's not. I'll tell you, it's not like brown sugar, like in your face.
no.
But it's there. You could tell the essence of rum is there. I get it. I didn't get it. I always just moved on. But I get it now.
The cool thing about this one for me is that compared to the previous three,
Yeah.
this one seems to be the most evolutionary. Like, I could taste the base of Dewars in this.
Yes.
And then the influence of the rum onto the base Dewars flavors. Like, it turned from sugar to brown sugar.
Yeah.
You know?
And this was the first to come out, right?
Yeah.
Of all the Dewars,
This is series number 1.
Series
Yeah.
1. I mean, listen. I mean, you get a little bit of the sugar on the nose, but when you taste it, it's really there. Yeah. No, it's. I mean, they said tropical fruits. I mean, okay. Leonard, I know you could be more attuned to me because you don't like it. Do you taste any desiccated coconut? Because I know you do not. He famously does not like desiccated coconut. I love coconut. I'm a coconut fan.
Yeah, a very little bit.
Okay. See, yeah, I get it.
Now, the big advantage of this one is one of the two things when I say I don't like desiccated coconut, people don't realize I don't like the flavor or the texture.
So you don't like the dryness?
No, and that's the thing about desiccated coconut and other whiskeys. It tends to be a drier whiskey.
Okay. For those that do not know what desiccated coconut is, desiccated coconut is, it's the dried, shredded coconut. You would get like
On
chocolates, or what I miss is in the U.S. it used to be big time, especially during Christmas, would be coconut pies.
Yeah.
Coconut custard pie. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I
So
always
good.
go for banana cream, because bastards would not tell me about them. Oh, this is a coconut. I'm like, yeah, I can totally tell by the color of the pie. It's yellow.
Wait. So instead of
Coconut cream?
coconut nuts in your mouth, you'd rather have a banana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Just making sure.
Banana cream, bro.
That's even better.
Yeah.
The banana cream.
That has to be the cream of the banana.
So what happens if it was a banana cream pie? Would you put that in your mouth?
All the time.
Okay, let's move on. Thank
I
you,
could
sir.
put that in my mouth all night long.
All night long. Just like Lionel Richie, baby. All night long. All night
But
long.
yeah, desiccated coconut, when I taste it in whiskeys, there's usually a dryness to it, and that's why I have to think about it. This one doesn't have as much dryness.
No. I mean, there's a sweetness, and that's
Yeah.
the brown sugar. I'm not sure about the caramel, but I mean, it's not a complicated whiskey, but it's a whiskey I will go back and steal from my lady's bottles.
I'll definitely revisit this again. I want to see how it evolves.
I'll keep on stealing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going to spend her money. I want to be a kept man. Isn't that so hard, Leonard?
No, I've been kept in a cage for about 20 years now. So, wait, if any of you know my wife,
I don't think
Delete this.
I don't think she's gonna watch it, but
no, that's what I'm saying. If anybody knows my wife, that's the problem.
I should upload this to YouTube and just send her the exact link with that'd be hilarious. Hi, Leonard's wife. Not gonna say the name. Leonard's wife.
Leonard, we'll just stick in Leonard's wife. And,
I'll record this, send it. Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
Anyways,
Last one. The what we expect to be the highlight. As you can see, it's the darkest in color.
Yes.
Actually, I'm quite surprised, side by side. There's not really much of a gradient. It's just four kind of golden colored, and then one with a little more, a little more copper to it.
Yeah, which would make sense. If export, they're probably going to get some of the coloring from the barrel itself.
So this is the Dewar's 8-year Portuguese Smooth. Frank, you want to do the honors since this is your favorite?
Yeah, so Portuguese. Okay, so Portuguese. Yeah, you get it? So port wine is from Portugal. So they finish this in an export barrel or butt, cask, whatever you want to call it, whatever, depending on the size. And so port is a fortified wine similar to sherry, but I would say for me, port is more intense in flavor than sherry. That's for me. Now, of course, there's different types of sherry.
Yeah.
You know, there's PX, there's, you know, whatever. But, I mean, for me, you know, PX, Pedro Jimenez, you know, there's different kinds. But, I mean, it's still something that had intense flavors.
So port will always tend to add a little more dried fruit flavors, and that's why it's a little more intense. They tend to talk about it being more preserved, more sugary. Sherry can have a wider range. Because the Finos don't taste as much like the ports do. Those are going to be more subtle.
The Fino sherry, yeah.
But
Like
as you get more towards the PXs, that gets more of those raisiny,
Yeah.
really, really preserved kind of sugary flavors.
Exactly.
And that's the first time I've heard someone say pork butts.
Jesus. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. All right. So according to the flavor notes, stone fruits. So when you say stone fruits, like peaches.
Yes,
Like the
fruits
stone
with
in the
a
middle.
little pit,
Yeah, pits, right?
hard pits in the middle.
So even cherry could technically be a stone fruit.
Yep.
So dark red fruits, so grapes, apples,
Cherries.
and honey. So yeah, I mean, all these dark, intense flavors should be a part of it. So let's try it out in front of the camera. And our last whiskey, I know we've been doing this probably for about an hour or so, give or take, I'm assuming. I'm a line producer here. Oh, 40 minutes or so. That's good. Actually, we're making great timing. So we could cut this up later.
Yep.
But cheers.
Cheers. Last one. This is, as you know, I'll say it now. This is a Frank's favorite.
It is. I mean, so they say the red fruits, right? Like, even when I smell it, I see the color red. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, sometimes when you smell things, you see colors, right? And especially when you close your eyes. So close my eyes, I smell this. I smell the color red.
Yeah, it's warm. It's rich. You know, that really brings out the color red.
Yeah.
And for me, those are my two big colors, red and green.
Red and green.
Green will be crisp, cool, grassy. Reds are always, to me, like rich, spiced fruit, you know.
Like, right now, this is the
Sweet
perfect
fruit.
time because, you know, the holidays now, after holidays, it's still winter, where in places where it's cold. You know, this is a cold... I mean, for me, it's a cold weather whiskey, right? Because it's so intense in flavor.
Yeah, for those of you fans checking it outside the Philippines, we are suffering. It's a terribly cold 75 degrees.
Oh, so cold. So cold.
Our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to you guys who are
freezing in LA right now.
Yeah, freezing in LA, part of the States.
Yeah.
We're at 75 degrees. Come visit.
Come visit, yeah. Well, you're freezing in supposedly sunny LA. Supposedly, you're freezing your Christmas bells off.
Yeah, your port butts.
Your port butts off. But man, I mean, listen, it's a sweet nose. It's a fruity nose.
Well, the thing I like about this is substance. It carries throughout. It's not like something that's just gonna. Oh wow, flavor gone.
Does it have good bone structure?
Yeah,
has
that's what
good
it
bone
has good structure. You taste flavor throughout. It's not like everything packed in the front. Nothing.
I mean, I could
at the end of the day.
I could literally smell grapes, right? And you know, I close my eyes, I could smell the grapes. You know, obviously a bit of black pepper and from the hard alcohol. But that's fine. I mean, it's a beautiful whiskey. I mean, and it's a blend, right? It's about $20.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive. I would say that the nose is similar to the palate, right? So same kind of flavors. You do get that. I would say this is probably has the best example of honey compared to the other ones. I mean, no wisps of smoke. I think the port does a job of hiding the wisps of smoke, but this to me, out of all of the five, this one is the most prototypical of Dewars.
I would say it would. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'd also say that this is probably the best evolution of Dewars. It really tastes like if Dewars decided to somehow uproot all four of their distilleries and move to Speyside.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden add that fruity flavor, that typical red fruit flavor that Speyside whiskeys have. Then all of a sudden that's what would be the result of it.
Well, you got to remember, Speyside used to be part of Highlands. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's Speyside style. That's why I say.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Where it's intense fruit.
Yeah, but you have that extra sherry finish in there.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, I would say this: most of the export, you're gonna get like raisins.
Yeah,
like concentrated raisins and. Dried out plums, that kind of thing. You don't get it here. It to me, this tastes more like an ex-sherry than an export.
That's what I was saying. And I don't really get the stone fruit more than I get the red fruit. I get more red fruit in this.
Exactly. You taste other exports. You could taste almost raisins. You don't get that here. But I mean, I'm famous. People that know me quite well, they know I love my ex-sherry, whether it's like a legit Macallan, especially stuff from the 90s.
Right.
80s and 90s, that Macallan was beautiful back then.
This really reminds me more of a sherry and whiskey. And, Frank and I, we agree on a lot of things. Like, if we're talking, like, especially on base notes, like, good or bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we have our nuances on what we prefer. Frank definitely prefers sherry and whiskeys.
I do.
Like, you really love your sherry. You're a sherry guy.
Yeah.
I actually like stone fruit. Frank will tell you how much I love peach.
He loves peaches.
Peach notes in whiskey and plums. So I tend to go more towards.
I mean, you enjoy peach pie.
Dude, peach pie, peach in my face, you name it.
Yeah, peach in your face.
But yeah, this definitely doesn't have any of the stone fruit that I'm familiar, because I look for that.
Yeah.
Just like I look to avoid desiccated coconut, I look for, like, Glen Grant Arboralis, Glen Grant the Majors Reserve.
The Majors Reserve, which you really enjoyed, which has now been cut, right?
Cut, but I mean, that was all peach, so that was completely subjective. I've had people tell me, that was a terrible whiskey. I was like, do you like peaches? No, oh shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, and you know this, I'm not the biggest fan of peaches, or even canned peaches.
Right.
I never got into it, but I get it.
Yeah, and that's why you're not a big fan of the Majors Reserve.
Yeah.
That's one of our very few disagreement points. You like the Arboralis more. I like its replacement. I prefer the Majors Reserve. I still have a bottle hidden somewhere which no one will ever find, even though it's cheap because...
Oh, I'll find it.
Dude, why would you bother?
I know, I wouldn't bother. But I'd find it just to find it.
Oh, you find it just to find it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd find it.
This is why I'm hiding it, because he'd drink it out of spite. He's the only human being I know who would drink a whiskey to deny me a whiskey.
No, I would drink it up into that much left.
Oh, that much left.
Just so you could have a nice little 30, 45 ml.
Just as like a parting gift before it's gone forever.
Yeah. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Leonard, because I at least did that to you.
Yeah, and then it'll have to refill the bottle and be like, here, I can refill it for you with something else, but it'll taste like peaches if you do it soon enough.
Oh my God! You know what? God, yeah, I know what he's referring to.
That's called the fifth whiskey. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the fifth whiskey. And listen, I will still say this. Now after drinking all five, the port is still my favorite.
Rankings.
Okay. Now we're not gonna rank it as good or bad. What I like. Okay, obviously
these are all subjective, by the way, and these are coming from people who have drank a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, obviously port's my favorite.
Okay.
What's your favorite?
You know what? I would have to agree with you now. Oh. I really like the port this time. Now that I've tried all five back to back.
Right.
It's just it holds better than all the others.
Yeah.
I will say this: my second runner-up.
Okay.
Is the mizunara, and I would prefer it with food.
Which makes sense, because Japanese whiskey's famous for being paired well with food.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their first runner-up? First runner-up.
First runner-up. So that's second place for me is the mizunara. I would definitely use that with food, because I think it just, you're right, subtlety. I think that unless you're picking something very specific to go with that port whiskey, 7 or 8 out of 10 times, it's just got flavors will just take away from each other.
Okay. For me, I would put the Japanese as my second runner-up, so my third. I'll say
but mizunara and the Japanese are the same.
Sorry, that's what I'm saying. That's my but that's my second runner-up.
Second runner-up. What's your first?
First runner-up, I'm gonna have to go with the Caribbean Smooth.
You're being tainted by your girlfriend again, Henry.
No. I mean, listen, tasting the lineup. I mean, it was like, all right.
No, you have a really good point. I've only tried 3 of the 5. Well, 4 of the 6 if you include the 12. But yeah, I would definitely say that the Caribbean is the most improved. I was really shocked how much better it tasted than when I last remembered it.
Oh yeah, much better. Much better.
So I think we agree at that point in the top 3. For me, it's port, Japanese, Caribbean.
Okay. And then, yeah, me, port, Caribbean, Japanese. Okay.
Then 4th would be the French cask, and 5th would still be the illegal for me.
Oh. I wouldn't... Sorry. I would... It's almost a toss-up for me, but I would say because of the body, I'm going to go Japanese as my 4th.
Wait, you put the Japanese as your 3rd.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry.
It's
sorry.
between the illegal and the... Okay, what would you pick? It's between the illegal and the French cask.
Sorry, French. I already, yeah, 3rd. Sorry. No, so I'm going to go... Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. No, I'll go illegal then French.
You would go illegal then French.
Yeah,
okay.
because illegal has a little bit more body.
All right.
A little bit more body. And that's it. Now, both of them could have done a bit better. But I just found the French just having the lack of body, just at least for today. Now,
this is going to get interesting because this is where subjectiveness comes in.
Yeah.
Because I actually agree with you on all your objective points. So the only difference is what we prioritize. So for me, the reason I put the illegal 5th and I put the French cask above it was because I kept thinking, well, man, if I had to drink stuff, I would keep reaching for the French cask. If I had a French cask and I had an illegal and I had to drink that tonight, I'd reach for the French cask before the illegal. I'd prefer to pour it. And it is, you're right. The body isn't as much. But it cuts off way sooner.
But I'll tell you, it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, tomorrow, my mind could say something else. It's just totally something different. It's literally a toss-up. Like, flip a coin. Like, I'm not saying one's better than the other. It's just right now, I want something with a little bit more body.
So here's a kind of a twist.
Okay.
Where would you rank with Dewars 12 in this?
Oh.
If you need to take another sip of Dewars 12, man, just to refresh your memories.
No, well, listen, I have it right here. Listen, I would put this right behind the port.
Okay, we're on the same page, then.
Yeah, no, the port is number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, the complexity of the 12 plus the body. Listen, it goes a long way. Now, it has, like I said, it's 12 versus 8. Yeah, you're changing it up because the 8 is barrel finished and blah 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 blah. Fine, but I mean, there's a reason why the 12 is such a good whiskey.
No, it is. And guys, keep in mind, we're talking about, as Frank said, these are about $20 whiskeys. If you're in the Philippines, about $1,000, give or take.
Yeah.
So, hands down, these are great choices for the price. We were when we rank them, we're ranking them versus each other, not versus how we see it in the market versus. And we've tried a lot of whiskey in our lifetime, so definitely this is one of the highlights for its price point.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Dewars as much in the past. Why? Well, our past company, we didn't really, and that's fine. But now that we're free,
well, it's nice to bring it up. We want to promote the things that
we enjoy.
We enjoy, and we also want to give people objective look. $1,000, we'll put it out there. That's the meat of the market. A lot of people spend black label money.
Yeah,
and I don't want people to think that that's the only thing out there for $1,000. And if you need to find an alternative, no, you have to double your money.
And for Filipinos that enjoy sweeter whiskeys, honestly, I think. Whoa, Leonard, be careful, buddy. Yeah, I mean,
that Portuguese cask.
Well, I'll say Dewars in general, right?
Yeah,
I think Dewars as a blended whiskey should be more popular amongst Filipinos that will spend more than $10, $12.
Yeah,
it should be. I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't be, because this goes towards the Filipino palate, which is a sweeter palate.
You know what? My dad loves Dewars, and I mean, he's not a whiskey aficionado, but he switched to Dewars. I mean, at the end of the day, and he could bring home any whiskey he likes. His drinking whiskey was always Dewars White Label for the longest time.
Okay.
I mean, his pouring blend, his whiskey.
Well, I know your dad enjoyed Chivas.
He did, but he also would spend more on like a lot of time. I'm saying like a pouring blend.
Yeah.
He's Dewars White. Of course, he would go for Royal Salute.
Yeah.
But you couldn't compare the two because of. I mean, that's a vast. That's night and day in price point. Number one.
Yeah, it's like
and age.
$100.
Yeah,
give or take, right?
Versus 20.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's not a good comparison.
And back then, in those days, I mean, we're talking about the 80s and 90s. You know, Dewars didn't have. They didn't have. Like Royal Salute, dude. My dad could go to a supermarket, buy Royal Salute, bring it home.
Yeah, all day, every day.
Yeah, it's not like Dewars, which was like he had to go to the airport if he found something. But he would bring home some special Dewars every once in a while.
Yeah.
I have a bottle of Dewar Signature at home. So
one I'm gonna take from him.
God damn it.
No. Anyways, all right, let's finish this up.
I need to build taller shelves.
Yeah. You gotta remember, Leonard, my arms are freaking long.
That's why taller shelves. That's the only way.
Yeah.
What you're willing to crawl for some whiskey, so I know that I can't just put it really low and you're like, no, too much work.
No, don't worry. I have my cigar box. I just stand on top of. That's right, baby. Can't deny me.
Can't deny you.
Can't deny the tank. But all right, let's finish this up. So yeah, obviously the port is our favorite. Dewars 12. You know, listen,
it's solid.
It's a solid whiskey. You can't go wrong. And the others are what they are. Listen,
try them all. I highly recommend you get all 5 and you discover. Find out what's your flavor profile, because these are subtly different.
Yeah.
So when you find out which one you'd prefer, it gives you a lot of insight as to what type of whiskey you should be looking for.
Exactly. So for a buzzed Frank, and I'm assuming a buzzed Leonard.
Yep, Buzz Leonard right here.
You know, thank you guys for watching our very first Frank's pour. Sometimes, on occasion, the tank pour. This time, it's a tasting. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in. And to the next time, bye-bye.